Hi, Spencer Cheap Pops, you're on the air.
Silicon Steve Valley, Vladi Dottie, we are here and we are High Spots and Cheap Pops, talking the very best of professional wrestling in the world today. So, to get us started, Vladi Dottie, you are the sayer, you are the orator of the matches. You get to go, and we're off.
Oh, and to lead off of this incredible event, I would have it no other way. We have the Lionheart Chris Jericho against Hook for the FTW Championship. I'll give you a mulligan on this because you obviously weren't doing as much research as I was. Holla. And with that being said, who's your choice? Is it Jericho?
It's definitely Jericho. Yeah, he already lost one match, and
I took Jericho as well.
Jericho sucks.
Dude, it's bad. And you know what? Like, the reason he's winning, too, is like the whole Lionheart gimmick. The Lionheart has finally won the FTW Championship all these years later. Who cares, Jericho?
You're at the learning tree of Chris Jericho. I copyrighted a bunch of other things that I can't get over anymore.
That whole promo was a trademark fest. Man, you know what? That's what he should call the Jerichoholics, trademarks. The ones that defend him right now?
The funny thing is, a lot of them that are defending him, I'm in an AEW group on Facebook, and a lot of them that are defending are like, yeah, he sucks, but you shouldn't say that about him.
Right.
How dare you say anything? He's an AEW original. Don't say anything bad about my favorite show.
I know. It's like, why do they think, like, Chris Jericho is not above criticism here. None of us really are. I mean,
some dude was trying to tell me today that Jericho helped out. Right? Jericho's feud has helped out Hook. Jericho's feud helped Action Andretti. Jericho's feud, Jericho's feud made Powerhouse Hobbs, right? His feud made MJF. Like, the guy was giving Jericho credit for all these guys who were already way over and already popular, and he's giving Jericho, it's because of Jericho's rub. It's like some of these people do these mental gymnastics to defend Chris Jericho. Yeah. Look, he's not doing anything that other guys haven't done before. They try to stay in the spotlight. We're working with younger, more talented guys. The problem is he's not entertaining, and this feud is an abomination. And frankly, Hook is now being exposed, and people are starting to say he sucks. Great job, Jericho. Great job. Add him, throw him on the list of people whose momentum you destroyed. Ricky Starks, Adam Cole, MJF, everyone who was in JAS, literally.
Yeah.
Like Anna Jay and Tay Conti were really popular and heading to the top of the division. They joined the JAS and they were fucking pariahs.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a joke. It's a joke. The guy has hurt literally everybody he's worked with for 2 years now. That's a reality. Because he's got to be a major player. No, he needs to take a step back. And everyone's saying it, except for a couple of wackadoos who think that Jericho can do whatever he wants because he's Chris Jericho and he was the first AEW champion. You guys are insane. It's all good. It's all good. But yeah, Jericho beats Hook, and Hook is going to be... He's not good, dude. Can we call it out? Wow. He's been wrestling for 3 years now, 4 years now, by now. Maybe 5 even. The guy can't cut a promo after all this time.
You know, it's really odd.
Yeah.
And
Jericho. I'm going to tell you right now. He pouts. He looks like he's 15. He's pouting. Hook sucks. And you were a Hook mark, you nerd. You were a mark for Hook.
And I'm not defending him here. All I'll say is he is very green. And he needs like professional help, like from NXT.
Didn't he win a Vladi Dottie for rookie year?
He did.
Wow. That one's going to be questioned in the annals.
That's where some of the best questioning happens, I guess. Yeah, so Hook, I'm not going to defend him, but I don't understand who says to him, like, yeah, keep on eating the chips. That's working. Like, I don't get that note. Also, when his father got thrown down to the ground.
As a bitch!
As his father got thrown down to the ground, how does Hook not grab Jericho, put him in a submission hold, and have Taz say to him, yo, let go, let go? And then challenge him to, a match for Dynasty.
To be honest with you, Jericho is the only decent thing about that segment, his promo, because he was normal. Jericho could still cut a promo.
Yeah.
But the way it was booked, you're right, was terrible.
Yeah.
Continue. Sorry. I just was...
No. It was a really horrible segment. The thing with Jericho, too, it was like, and it just, I thought it was bad because everything he did trademark, he referred to and referenced. So it was just like the whole promo was built on that. And again, he's making the fans at these live events suffer with the Lionheart gimmick for a reason. And it's got to be to win this ECW based title. He's like a time traveler now.
He's a momentum killer too. He's a time traveler and momentum killer.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I don't know. I think he's lost right now. And he's starting to go away heat because he didn't even full blown turn heel. And they were booing him the last couple weeks.
Yeah. Nobody wants to see him. And really, he's got Fozzy. Go on tour, give it 6 months, and come back. That's all. Pick and choose your spot, and that's it. You get a clean slate. Let somebody else step up. There's plenty of names. Like, what do you think is going to happen in this match? So you and I both think Jericho wins, but he's not going to win cleanly.
I don't know. I mean, I'm sure he's going to. I have no idea how he's going to win. I don't care. This is literally the match I'm least looking forward to. I don't care.
If I had to go and just take a stab at it, I'm thinking it's a returning Sammy Guevara. He goes and gets involved. Jericho reaps the rewards, and then Sammy and Jericho are back together. Lionheart and Sammy Guevara.
Maybe. I don't know if they bring Sammy back as a heel. But you might be right.
Yeah, they could do whatever with that guy because he's like a switch hitter.
Same with Jericho. This is going to be Jericho, I think, his 5th or 6th turn since AEW started.
Yeah.
Maybe 7th. So
enough about Jericho.
Yeah, this match sucks. We spent 5 minutes on this shit match.
You're going to have a lot of editing already. We got Adam Copeland, Eddie Kingston, and Mark Briscoe versus the House of Black.
I took Malachi Black and company trying to set up hopefully a feud between Malachi Black and Adam Copeland. Not sure why they did another 6-man tag, but
they love him.
Whatever the case may be, I mean, you got Adam Copeland. Why isn't he in a singles? I mean, he's one of your biggest stars. Why isn't he in a singles match? Why couldn't they just have a singles match with Malachi Black and Adam Copeland? But they could be saving that for Double or Nothing, which I am hoping for. God forbid Malachi Black has a singles match on a pay-per-view. God forbid. Holy shit. Would that be possible, please? For Christ's sake? But I'm taking House of Black. I think they need to win. They've had a couple of rough losses. I think you need to kind of put them a little bit over here against a team that can probably take the loss, especially Eddie Kingston. So,
right. I agree with you entirely. And there's the whole thing, too. I was basing it off of Malachi versus Copeland. This is where Malachi will get his win. Meaningless 6-man match. And then when he goes against Copeland, he'll lose. So.
Yeah, probably. Hopefully they can have a pretty decent feud here. I'd really like Malachi Black to take center stage on this company for just a second. For real. Because he's been the most underutilized guy. I think he's a lot better than Miro. I mean, a lot of people would say Miro is. But Malachi Black, to me, has been so underutilized in terms of what he can do and what he brings to the table. So hopefully this is the beginning of something big for him before he leaves up for WWE.
If I had to build a wrestling company between either Malachi Black or Miro, and I like them both, but I would definitely go Malachi Black with that.
Yeah, I mean, they'll both be in WWE in a couple of years. So,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The Malachi Black is counting the days. Next match, and this could very well might as well just be the main event in terms of wrestling. You have
Willow Nightingale and Julia Hart.
bingo. You have none other than Will Ospreay versus Bryan Danielson. You want me to lead off? I'll lead off. I think, we've referred to it in the past about Bryan Danielson being on this supposed farewell tour.
Put everybody over tour, yeah.
Yeah, put everybody over. But you will see one of the greatest matches ever. And this match in particular has me considering actually getting the pay-per-view. So, yeah, I have high expectations, but I went with Will Ospreay.
Same. I don't think they have him lose unless there is some kind of dissension within the Ospreay, the Don Callis family. You saw Will Ospreay not happy with the way Don Callis family came and jumped in, but I was surprised Danielson wasn't on the show this past Wednesday, but that's all right. I think Ospreay, look, he's going to be the goal. He's not just a golden goat for Don Callis. I think he's the guy for AEW within over the next several years. They should try to do everything they can to make him a face of the company. We'll see how it goes, but obviously super over. Cuts a great promo, and he, to me, is the best wrestler in the world right now. I'm going, and since Bryan Danielson doesn't beat anybody anymore,
yeah,
big spot.
Yeah. So weird, man. Yeah,
whether it be Eddie Kingston or Okada or whoever. Yeah. If you are a main eventer, you are losing to Bryan Danielson is not beating you. If you are in the main event scene, he is not beating you. Period.
He's almost there's like too much courtesy there.
Yeah, he's too nice. That's who he is, though.
Yeah. Yeah.
He doesn't care about business either. Fuck
money, man. Money's like the root of all evil. This is our art, man.
I love Danielson. He's a brilliant man, though. But
listen, he's like a shining example of what pro wrestling is all about. He's like, you compare what he's done in his lifetime and how he's done it, and then you see how respected he is and will remain, you would think, versus like what Ric Flair is dealing with at this point in his life.
Two completely different people.
Yeah. So, I think, and honestly, as a wrestling fan, it was great to see this much of his career. So,
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I wish I watched him more when he came up before he was in WWE, because he was definitely neutered in WWE. The Bryan Danielson I saw in WWE, even as a heel, was not this vicious killer that he is over in AEW. For me, I think he's a much more believable and devastating performer in AEW. Obviously, he's never going to have moments. He main evented 2 WrestleManias, won one of them. So, Bryan Danielson has a legendary career. He's a Hall of Famer. His best matches I've ever seen have been in AEW, but he should have had a run on top for several months, and maybe they can shoehorn one in here somewhere, but I don't think so.
They could bring back Sting for one more match and then have them be tag team champions, and then they'll win, and then there's another tournament.
Like they don't book. They book 3 weeks, 3 to 6 weeks down the line, and that's it. Like there's no forefront after that, which is what I think more people want to see. And so does AEW fans. It's funny. I had a conversation, Vladi. You get a kick out of this. I had mentioned that I'd like to see a storyline with Swerve maybe going a year or 2 before he gets the world title. Like it's a little bit of a struggle, kind of like a Cody. And he's like, I don't think WWE should copy anything AEW does. I'm like, sorry, let me change it. Just like Hangman. Like, that was a 2-year fucking storyline. Like, it's like, I hate long storylines. Oh, Hangman and Kenny was great, though. I hate entertainment. I just want to see wrestling. But I only cheer for Daniel Garcia when he dances like an asshole. It's just like come on.
Yeah.
Like, come on, guys. We're losing followers because of that spiel.
Let's go on to the next match.
I would love to.
Ring of Honor and AEW Trios Tag Team Championship match. Literally 6 belts on the line here. We have the Acclaimed versus the Bullet Club Gold.
Does anyone need to wonder what SSV is going with? Guns up. I am not calling them Bang Bang Gang. That is fucking stupid. Bullet Club Gold becomes and hopefully unites the trios, and that's all we have. There's no reason to have 2 trios if you're going to have Ring of Honor belts on AEW television. No reason to have 2 trios titles. I'm sorry, one's a 6-man tag and the other one's a trios. Because semantics. So hopefully Bullet Club Gold wins this one. And thank God. The Acclaimed have really... both factions, to be honest with you, this feud has not gone well for both of them. I don't think either one of them are more... I don't think either team or either faction have come out better than when we started here. And obviously, Bullet Club Gold is definitively missing Juice Robinson. Rumors he might be showing back up this Sunday. We'll see what happens. But the Acclaim needs to lose this, get rid of those gaudy, terrible pink titles.
Yeah, I'm with you. Bullet Club Gold all the way. Yeah, they got to do something. I think Juice does return as well. And still, even with Juice returning, I wouldn't mind seeing Billy Gunn actually joining with them. You know, like
I agree with that. I think that would be best.
And then all of a sudden, they look really imposing. So
now they got their heater for sure.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I don't know. That's what I would hope to see. I'm not sure we're going to, but nevertheless, Bullet Club Gold.
The problem is that Billy Gunn already turned on them to go back with his kids. So we already told that story, so that might be why they didn't want to pull the trigger now and why they might not pull the trigger, because he did already do that. So it's like you're going, and honestly, them even feuding again with each other, the whole thing was weird, especially when the whole genesis was because they wanted to go after Adam Cole, and no one has said anything about going after Adam Cole or his group of mid-carders.
And that's
troop of mid-card fucks.
Yeah, and then that's a great segue, because this troop of mid-card fucks are up next in the AEW International Championship match with Roderick Strong against Kyle O'Reilly.
I'm going to take Roderick Strong here. I don't want to go too much into this match. I'm sure it's going to be a banger. I'm sure it's going to be great. They know each other really well, but I don't think Roderick Strong loses this title just yet.
Yeah.
Not sure what they're doing with Kyle O'Reilly either, if he's going to be a blood feud, and where's Adam Cole been? Perhaps he's doing rehab now, so maybe Adam Cole comes back, hopefully within the next couple months.
Well, some of the news that was out about Adam Cole, and forget about the sources right now, but basically he's not traveling so he can actually heal. Going to the... So, basically, they're just stay home at this point, so we're not even sure when he's coming back.
Makes sense, though.
Yeah, but again, it's like they put all their eggs in that devil mask angle, and look at it now. And honestly, of all the matches on this card, this is the one that doesn't deserve to be on this card.
I don't know. Jericho and Hook can go fuck itself too, isn't it?
Oh yeah, that's another one for sure. Yeah, absolutely. There's definitely so this is two at this point. Yeah. However, and I don't know if I said I did pick Roderick Strong as well. However, on the flip side of that coin, we have a match that definitely belongs here. We have the AEW Continental Championship match between Okada and Pac.
Yeah, this is going to be great. I cannot wait to see this match. 2 of the best workers in the world. But Okada just joining. He's making $4 million a year. He's not losing just yet.
Yeah, bet your mortgage on this. Okada's winning this 100%. And really, you're going to see, I think, Okada's worth in a lot of ways on an American, on the American scene here with Pac. And you could already sense it. They're with their exchanges so far, where these two guys, they should just click wonderfully, man.
Yeah,
and this should be like a clinic. So
I'm sure they've wrestled dozens and dozens, if not hundreds of times, because they both came up around the same time. So obviously Pac spent a lot of time in WWE, but Pac did a lot of stuff on the indies as well, both wrestling in Europe, both wrestling on the indies in America, both even wrestling in Japan. So, you're going to see, I think these guys know what they're doing, but we haven't seen it on American soil yet. So it's really exciting. This should be outside of, there's so many good matches on this pay-per-view. Wow. I'm just thinking about it. Like, cause this is just one of the many, and I'm really looking forward to it. In terms of bell-to-bell action, this might be the best pay-per-view of the year. It really has the potential to be so. You're going to have any Grayson Waller annoying the shit out of me.
Next match, we have the AEW World Tag Team Championship ladder match between the EVPs and FTR. Bet the house on it. Young Bucks.
1,000%. And obviously we are anticipating the return of Jungle Jack Perry, as I call him, Jungle Jack McKay. He's Dylan McKay's son. I wanted to call him Jack McCoy, but that was Law and Order. But yeah, the Young Bucks win this one. I don't even think that's even remotely. I just hope it's a ridiculous match. I'm a little worried about expectation, ladder match. Not FTR's forte, that kind of thing.
No.
But we'll see. We'll see. And the Young Bucks, look, the Young Bucks want to have a great match. FTR wants to have a great match. FTR is there for the long haul. They're there for at least another couple of years, if not 3 or 4 more years, if not at least 2 more years. The Bucks are obviously all in AEW. So I think this could be the beginning of a true blood feud between the two. And hopefully, I'd like to see them feud over these titles, and maybe FTR beats them 6 months down the road at All In again or whatever. But I'd like to see them feud. I'd like to see that be the case in terms of FTR and the Young Bucks really getting really getting the crowd into it, not just to see who the best is, but really cheering for FTR to beat the shit out of the smug a-hole EVPs. And I like what the Bucks have done with their character work. I really do. I think it's been a lot better than what they were doing prior. Obviously, I hated showing the stupid footage, but at the end of the day, you're 100% right. Bucks win, but hopefully this is just the beginning. Hopefully this is just the beginning of some better things to come with this feud. Hopefully it's an actual feud, but we'll see. I can also see Tony just having FTR start feuding with the infantry for some stupid fucking reason.
Oh, absolutely. I don't think if I had to predict it here, FTR will lose, and then they'll get spun off to something else. You're hearing what the Motor City Machine Guns are being signed. Also, Tony will probably have them come in and feud with the Bucks right away because that's what he does. Big free agent. Yeah. Let's have him feud with a champion and lose. Right. Yeah, and so when I saw that, I'm like, oh, that's typical, man. Like, yeah, for sure. So I think this is all in the woodwork, but yeah, they're going to win. Jungle Jerk-Off will probably make an appearance, cost FDR, get more heat on them that way. And you know what I thought was sort of weird too was like the way they referred to I believe it was Nicholas Jackson who said referred to like FTR being the mastermind behind this, and they're like, oh no, you can't say that, you can't, like one of those things during that. And I'm like, the mastermind, like this is so just unbelievably
stupid. Yeah, I like it though.
And I'm like, yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I don't know, man. Yeah, there's just like I rewatched it a few times, and I'm like, everything's a goddamn rib. Everything. We had to get in touch with, there was the sports journalist or whatever, basically Meltzer, and we didn't have time to hydrate. We didn't have time to pray. Damn it! And it's like, all right, joke. Everything's comedy. Everything is fucking comedy.
The thing is, they could have done that and gotten it over without showing the footage. They could have done everything that segment was meant to do without showing that stupid fucking footage.
Yeah, they could have just mentioned it, and just spoke about it, how like they were, that would have been the better take.
They wouldn't have popped that rating.
Nope. That's true. That's what
they got that big rating.
So, but yeah, man, that's this is the beginning, and I can see Jungle Jerk Off becoming part of it, and it's like the four of them with it's them with Jungle Jerk Off and Okada.
I think Hanger
building
comes
up.
back too.
You think he joins that?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. Huh. So
he comes back as a babyface. I mean, people do love him still, so.
Yeah. I mean, although he was like losing the crowd against Swerve.
He totally was. He turned heel.
Yeah.
Hangman turned legit heel at like the last couple appearances. That's why it was weird. You turn him heel and then you take him off TV, and now he loses the momentum of being a heel. Now when he comes back, it's like he wouldn't even turn heel. So I think they're going to keep the heel turn going, and I think he's going to join up with the Young Bucks. So that's why I think, or Tony just does whatever.
Yeah, it's true as well. FTR just seems sort of flat too, man, recently. Like their matches are just, I don't know, man. Just they're taking the brunt of it, taking some losses. Doesn't feel all that warm and fuzzy about them anymore, you know?
Did you watch all their matches in the tournament?
I did not.
I mean, they cut a good promo after the other one. The matches have been pretty good. So I can see what you're saying going into the tournament, but they won a couple matches in a row. They've cut some impassioned promos. So I think they've tried to build it up. The thing is, the crowd's not so much into them either, and it's hard when they're chanting when they instead of chanting for the baby faces, when the crowd's chanting for CM Punk. Right? You know?
Yeah.
It's hard to get behind the baby faces when you're chanting for a guy who's on Fox and USA respectively. So I think they lost some momentum for sure. And that's what hopefully this feud brings it back to that. And we'll see what happens. But I'm obviously anticipating a phenomenal match between these four.
Yeah. The bar is going to be set high, man. So I just hope for a good match, but I think the ending is pretty predictable.
Well, you hate the Bucks, and so you're going to hate this match.
I'm going to hate the results of it. I'll say that much.
I wonder if you're going to give the Bucks any credit if it's a good match for them. FTR carried them, bro. Fuck those guys. They're pussies.
I can see myself saying that. Next match, AEW TBS Championship match. We got Julia Hart versus Willow Nightingale.
I am going to take Willow Nightingale because I believe she is the one who attacked Mercedes Moné in the dark. So I'm going with Willow Nightingale because I think that sets up a little bit of a better match for the TBS Championship at Double or Nothing.
I'm with you as well. It shows her Willow as well. And I don't know, man. There's the whole Statlander part of this as well, and then Stokely. So I know there's one of those three's involved in this, but it's just funny with Mercedes and these promos, man. Brutal.
She's not making a name for herself in a good way. I will say that.
I'm like, if I was Tony Khan, I'd be almost sick. I feel like,
what did everyone expect, though? Did she ever cut an impassioned promo that you were like, damn, she's good? Like, what did people expect from Mercedes Moné? Like, she had a bunch of great matches with Charlotte, and she was a groundbreaker in WWE, but once the rest of the crop came up, she wasn't that special.
Right.
Is she better? Is she definitely better than Naomi? I wouldn't say that. Definitely not better than Bianca. Definitely not better than Becky. Definitely not better than Bayley. Not better than Rhea. You could make an argument Liv Morgan is better. I mean, like, Sasha wasn't special by the time she left WWE. She wasn't. But people still look at her as one of those four horsewomen that started the women's revolution. And she had her own distinct look. She was probably the most different looking one of the group. But at the end of the day, she was, to me, a distant fourth in terms of promo and in terms of in-ring ability. And so I'm not... This isn't surprising to me, and the reaction she's getting isn't surprising either. I wish, I don't know, I'm sure you're not surprised either. I don't think you were a big fan. I mean, her reaction that she's getting is exactly what I thought was going to happen and what I said was
And you know what? When I was watching her do this latest promo, I'm like, I don't believe a word that she's saying. Like, she's not even convincing me that she's convincing herself.
She's like cutting promos on NXT. That's how NXT is. It's like overacting bullshit. Sweetheart. At least she's not saying sweetheart every other word. Yeah. Let me tell you something, sweetheart. That's how she always cut promos. Garbage. Get her out of here.
Yeah. All right, so we're both on the Willow side of things there, setting up the match with Mercedes Moné. And then let's springboard over to the AEW Women's World Championship match between none other than Timeless Toni Storm against Thunder Rosa.
Looking forward to this match, but I think Timeless Toni Storm's going to have this title for a little bit longer. She is your victor. She's doing great stuff, continues to make me laugh almost every single week. Love what she's doing. I don't know what's going on with this lesbian triangle angle that they're doing between Mariah May, that new Japanese, my new favorite Japanese wrestler, and Toni Storm. But I'm all for it because they're all good wrestlers as well. But yeah, Toni Storm retains the AEW Women's World Championship.
Yeah, I'm with you. It took Toni Storm as well. She is like the ultimate character currently right now, and is one of those things that is like a lightning bolt in terms of conversation and opinion, and either you love it or you hate it, and it's good for AEW right now. It's definitely one of the better parts of the show. So let's go from there to the final match of the night.
Wow.
The AEW World Championship match between Samoa Joe against Swerve Strickland. And if I could lead off, I'll say I went with Swerve Strickland.
Vladi Dottie, we waited the entire card to finally get one different. This is my thinking. Swerve deserves an opportunity to be the AEW World Champion. However, I think that he needs to struggle a little bit more. This is his first one-on-one match for the AEW World Championship. Samoa Joe just won the title less than 4 months ago. So with all that being said, I am of the opinion that Samoa Joe retains the championship. MJF does show back up at the end of the night. Many people thinking he might even cost Samoa Joe the title himself, which may be the case, but I don't think Swerve wins this one. I think Samoa Joe retains the AEW World Championship. Maybe with some chicanery, but that's going to be the only difference we have in this entire card. I think Samoa Joe retains. I think Swerve Strickland gets his World Championship at some point in 2025.
I think MJF gets involved and costs Samoa Joe the championship, and that's why Swerve wins. And honestly, with Adam Cole being gone, and MJF, who would be a nice presence on this show, adding him to this mix, say, in lieu of Chris Jericho, perhaps. Get MJF out there instead. But I could see him getting involved prior to leaving, with MJF being a babyface with the Brochacho gimmick. He and Swerve had some mutual respect as well. And if he did get involved and Swerve were to win somehow or another, I don't know if Swerve would be all that upset. Honestly. So, and also, I saw that, keep in mind, one of the things that was mentioned too is like, previously, MJF was like involved in a faction named Dynasty, correct?
Yep.
One of the members of that faction, they just went and produced music for as well. So
was it Alexander Hammerstone?
It's not that guy who I've seen. I'm like that. He reminds me of Triple H when I saw him. What's that?
Gino something?
It might be Gino. Yeah, I forget the other guy's name, but evidently. So I'm like, okay, he's coming with some reinforcements. So I think that's pretty cool. So yeah, I would say that I think they're going to make a big impact. It'll be like MJF, the return of MJF. And I mean, I can only imagine where he can go. I mean, his character's got to be bitter at this point.
Well, we'll see. I think this is going to be a great main event match. I'm really happy for Swerve to actually be able to do this, get another main event under his belt. And Samoa Joe's been a really good champion. I'm looking forward. I don't want to get my hopes too up because what if MJF doesn't show up? But they've been really good at hiding what he's going to do and who he signed with. But I think we all know if he signed with WWE, he would have showed up already. So, and WWE, I think, sent floaters out or told some dirt sheets that they are under the impression that he did re-sign with AEW, but not for nothing, Vladi. I think we both, particularly me, were under the impression that he re-signed back in 2022. I had been saying that. I started getting a little bit worried when I saw how incompetent and terrible Tony Khan is in contracts and champions. Between Jon Moxley being the world champion out of contract and between Cody being the TNT champion without a contract. So then I started second guessing myself. But I've been under the impression that MJF has been signed for a while. So I hope he's back. He's been missed. They definitely miss him, even though he kind of had a rough run at the end. He didn't have the most entertaining run of his career there. But look, AEW, again, if they could just stay to their stars and not get involved in the bullshit, they're doing some really good stuff. And this pay-per-view is a great example of that.
Yeah, it certainly is. I mean, with Ospreay and like the rise of like the villainous Okada, and then you have a returning MJF who, I mean, his return, do you think he's going to remain a face, or do you think he's going to flip back to being a heel?
I think at least initially he's going to be a babyface until he takes out Adam Cole. He's going to finish that storyline. But again, you got to wait for Hopalong Cole to get back on the field, right? You know, Mr. Potter.
So yeah, I was thinking about
MJF, George Betty. Oh, you'll never amount to anything, George Betty.
Yeah, I was thinking, and that's what I was thinking. I'm like, say if it takes Adam Cole like 3 months, I mean, what are you going to do? Just stall MJF until this guy returns? I'm like, I don't know. I would just bring him in as you want him and just rip through and do whatever you need to with him.
Shit, he's been out since September too. Like this is like 8 or 9 months by now, and he already missed like 9 months. Adam Cole is Jesus Christ. He needs to stay on the field. Should have stayed in WWE and been a manager and shaved his head.
It's the irony of this all, though, man. And they put him with Wardlow versus Keith Lee.
Well, obviously they think Adam Cole is the straw that stirs the drink in that faction. He just hasn't been able to stand up and stir the drink. So we'll see. But MJF, hopefully he comes back. I really hope that's the case. You would think because of the color scheme and because the name of Dynasty, you kind of have the idea this was always meant to be an MJF returning day. Yeah. But again, either way, I mean, between Pac and Okada, FTR Bucks, and of course, Will Ospreay and Bryan Danielson. But you also have Swerve and Samoa Joe. And there's going to be the other matches should be at the very least entertaining outside of Hook and Jericho and I don't know. What's the other one that we weren't too hot on?
Roderick Strong.
That's going to be a good match at least. Those two guys know what they're doing. They know each other really well. At least that'll be a really good match. I think Hook and Jericho is going to be, and I think the reaction online, I think the reaction of the crowd's going to be bad. If the match is a stinker, the crowd's going to start booing.
Yeah.
And rightfully so.
Yeah, definitely. I just, you can tell that he's worn out his welcome, man. Plus, he took Judas away from them.
And well, I think that may be part of it. Maybe that's why he wanted to turn heel, so he doesn't have the people singing because he always gets a pop. But I guess he might have heard that's what people, similar what a lot of people said about Seth Rollins until like a couple months ago is that was Seth Rollins' big thing, why he gets such a big reaction. Now we know it's just Seth Rollins is a great freaking wrestler, one of the best wrestlers in the world. But we both have said it. Like Jericho, it's just all about that stupid song. Remember, remember one of the stipulations in one of his matches that he couldn't play it?
Yeah.
And it was all about getting the crowd to sing it. It's all it was. Yeah. And he got his cheap little pop. Great job. And look, if that match goes bad, it's going to get ugly, I think. Hopefully they do it early enough in the night. Because that match is like toward the end. It's going to be rough.
No. That's like second or third match.
It should be on the frickin' 0 hour. I'd rather watch the 6-man tag match, championship match over than those two, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But all right, Vladi Dottie, only one match got different. It's the main event, so we got to wait all the way till the end. This is going to be incredible. But of course, we got a couple more pay-per-views after that. So the Purple Nurple on Samoa Joe. We need you to come through for SSV. That's what I'm talking about. Thank you so much for watching High Spots and Cheap Pops. For Vladi Donnie, this is Silicon Steve Alley. Hit the subscribe button and let us know what you think. Thank you for watching, and here endeth the lesson.